For the first time today, the most defining and complete image of Lord Ram was unveiled. The first image on your screens is a close-up of 5-year-old Ram Lalla's innocent childlike face without the blindfold with the Vishnu tilak on his forehead. The second image is a picture of the entire Shamshila statue, and the third is one from the workshop where the idol was sculpted by Arun Yogiraj. It was then decked up in gold, precious stones and flowers. This is what Lord Ram looks like in all his divine glory just 2 days ahead of the final Pran Pratishtha. Here is a detailed report of what the idol that the entire world was waiting to watch really looks like.
Take a good look at this picture. For the first time, you are seeing the full idol of Ram Lalla in all its glory. His face has an innocent smile, his hair is wavy, and the Vishnu tilak adorns his forehead. This is as close as one can get to the darshan of Lord Ram. While these pictures were taken at the sculptor's workshop before the Pran Pratishtha rituals began in Ayodhya, the 51-inch black stone or Krishna Shila idol that has been placed inside Ram Mandir's griha has a blindfold. A yellow cloth is placed on his eyes for now. Lord Ram, who's in his Bal Swarup, is a child between the age of 3 and 5 years. He is standing on a lotus and has been garlanded with pink flowers. His Murti also has intricate carvings with many Hindu symbols like Om, Swastika, Chakra and Gada. The various avatars of Vishnu, Matsya, Kumbra, Varaha, Narsingh and Vaman are engraved on the right side of the Murti. The idols of Lord Ram and Lord Garud are on the bottom right and left. On the right side of the arch that's placed behind the Murti, there are tiny idols of Parshuram, Krishna, Buddha and Kalki. On the 22nd of January, when the main Pran Pratishtha ceremony takes place, life will be infused into Lord Ram's idol through rituals. This is done so that the idol assumes the role of a deity who can accept prayers and grant boons. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who will be present in the Garbha during the ritual, will take off the cloth that's covering the deity's eyes. For this, Prime Minister Modi is observing a very rigorous 11-day Anushtan. Ayodhya is gearing up to welcome guests from across the nation for the grand January 22nd ceremony. The beautification of the city and the fervour in Ayodhya Vasis reminds seers of Ram Rajya. One might wonder what will happen to the infant idol of Ram Lalla, one that's kept for darshan in a makeshift temple near the Ram Mandir. This idol too will be placed in the garbha, and during Hindu festivals and holy events, it might be taken out for Shobha Yatras and processions. As the final countdown to the Pran Pratishtha gets underway, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is in the ancient city to take stock of preparations. He visited the Ram Mandir and also offered prayers to Ram Lalla's infant idol.
राज्य सरकार पूरा सहयोग करके आने वाले श्रद्धालुओं को यहाँ पे पूरी श्रद्धा के साथ उन्हें दर्शन करने का अवसर प्राप्त होगा.
Seers of Ayodhya are carrying out consecration rituals every day. Today, they performed the Agni Manthan. In 2 days from now, the entire nation will watch Ram Lalla's Pran Pratishtha. This ceremony will mark a new chapter in India's civilizational journey. Bureau Report, Times Now.
All right, so finally that day has come. Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholar, is joining us. Your first impressions, Dushyantji, about the image that has finally been revealed to the world.
Namaskaram Padmaja, and namaskaram to all the viewers and the Astikas. The Netra Unmilanam, the opening of the divine eyes of the Murti, will happen on the 22nd of January. But fortunately, we have been able to see the overall Divyamangala Vigraham, the Murti of Prabhu Sri Ramachandra. So, to me, various facets of it, because I'm very proud, I come from the very state where the Shilpi belongs from, Karnataka. So, kudos to the Shilpi, namaskarams to his wonderful fingers that have proven magic in the Murti. To me, Padmaja, when I look at Rama's image, a few verses of Valmiki Ramayanam come to my mind. When Rama was at the age of 12, that is when Vishwamitra sought Rama's intervention in the forest. That is when he says, Dasharatha, please send your son Ram. That is when he says, Swaputram Rajashardulam Ramam Satya Parakramam Kakapaksha Dharam Veeram. It seems the tresses, the hair tresses of Rama were so black and curly that they would flow near his temple locks. So that was the fashion of those days, says the commentator. So when I look at Rama's Murti today, I'm reminded of Kakapaksha Dharam. And look at his cheeks. The moment we have the Prana Pratishtha, as Astikas, though we can go and propitiate to the Lord, we may not be allowed to touch. But the cheeks are so inviting that you just want to hug him. And the Prabha, the arch that surrounds Rama, carries the Dashavataram of Vishnu. Ichhamina Viharakachapa Mahapotri Yadricha Harehe Rakshavaman Rosharama Karuna Kakutstha Helahalin Krida Vallabha Kalkavahana Dasha, all the 10 avatars. And we see Garuda, Vedatma, Vihageshwaraha. Garuda signifies the essence of Vedas. And you rightfully said how the Purvangam is happening, all the ceremony, the vratas related to the Prana Pratishtha is happening. And something very unique, Padmaja, with your viewers will like. It is mentioned in the Ramayana that Dasharatha performed Ashwamedha Yajna and further he performed Putrakameshti. The commentator in the commentary called Bhushana states that Dasharatha was a Shukla Yajurvedi. I'm so happy that somebody in the trust had the trust in the verses of Valmiki and they brought in Pandits to recite Shukla Yajurvedam and Shatapatha Brahmanam, which is worth the appreciation. I can go on and on about the Murti, Padmaja. Whether we go to some parts of India where we see the Murti in white marble, whether you come to major parts of India, the west and the southern part, where you see in Krishna Shila, or you go to some parts of Odisha where it is made in wood. The material doesn't matter at all. At the end of the day, it is Rama. When Prana Pratishtha is done, he is Rama for us. And I'm extremely elated. Like the bride and the bridegroom, when the date is fixed for the muhurtam, for the marriage, they keep doing the countdown. So all of us are doing the same thing for the muhurtam, and here it's a marriage. The marriage between the Jivatma in us with the Paramatma. So I would call this a marriage, and we are the grooms and the brides.
But everyone has an opinion. When we first saw this picture, a lot of people were wondering, because mostly when growing up, we see the image of Lord Ram, it is in his Maryada Purushottam avatar. We see him, as Siya Ram, with Lord Hanuman at their feet, or we see them, of the Ram Lalla that we have seen so far in the temple. Have you seen this kind of a representation of Lord Ram ever earlier? Because a lot of people actually in our newsroom we were discussing that he looks more like Krishna ji in this, like a very Makhan Chor avatar. You spoke about the cheeks. So is this representation something that you've seen before?
See, when it comes to Rama, in certain agamas and iconography, when I say the word iconography, I'm very careful. When we look at the Pallava style, because many Rama temples are found in the south of India, which are very old, 1,500 years old. There is a representation of Rama. If he's standing, he is held in Tribhanga, where 3 parts of the body show a slight tilt. The foot, one of the foot is slightly tilted, then there is a bend in the hip. So that's called Tribhanga. Here he is in a straight position. So this is very new to me. And second are the cheeks of Rama, because Rama is shown as a more chiseled face, a very muscular man. But here we must remember, Padmaja, we are talking about the birthplace of Rama. So the Utsava Murti is a Ram Lalla, a toddler. And here you see a 5-year-old, 6-year-old Rama. So, children when they are young, they have to be chubby. Only when they grow old, they get into diet and all of it. So he can be chubby and he's extremely pretty. And you just said that he is like Krishna. They are 2 sides of the same coin, right? So you just put 2 peacock feathers to Rama, he becomes Krishna. As simple as that. So that's why we have had verses, Padmaja, your viewers may know. 700 years back, we had a poet called Venkatadhwari Kavi who wrote a work called Raghava Yadaviyam. You read the verses in Sanskrit left to right, it talks about Rama. Right to left, it talks about Krishna. So it's called Yadava Raghaviyam. It talks about Yadava and Raghava.
How is it that this is supposed to be Ram Lalla, as in a child who's just 5 years old, and yet he is shown in warrior pose with a bow and arrow?
See, for example, nowadays, I'm just giving mundane examples, Padmaja, for a lot of your viewers to understand. These days, children who are 2 years of age, they pick up the mobile phone and know much better than their parents and grandparents. And trust me, when you look at certain children, you will know that when they are 18, they are going to have their startup and they are going to do wonders. Rama was a born warrior. He was into archery. Arjuna tells in Mahabharata, I can never match Rama. So much so was Rama's archery skills. And why will the child not hold a bow and a quiver of arrows, and at least he's just holding one arrow? So nothing wrong about it. And with respect to the height, you know, some people had some critiquings done about the height. In Sundarakandam, when Sita wants to confirm if it is Rama's Duta, messenger who has come, she asks Hanuman, what is Rama's height? And he tells, he's 8 feet. Rama was at the age of 38, because 39th year he had his Pattabhishekam. 38th year he was 8 feet. So why is it tough to imagine a 5-year-old Rama who's about 4 or 5 feet? That's quite possible.
Dushyantji, but you know, a lot of people have also expressed apprehension that the original Ram Lalla idol, jinka the Shilanyas that had been done earlier, who had been inside the Ram temple all this while, that is the idol whose Pran Pratishtha should be done. What do you make of the fact that a brand new idol is being consecrated and Pran Pratishtha is being done?
See, to my knowledge, I have ferried people in the year 2015 to Ayodhya, and to my very humble, modest knowledge, the Ram Lalla who's being worshipped is a Utsava Murti. It is a movable Murti. So that which is processional is called Utsava Murti. There has to be a Mula Murti in place. Now people should ask the counter question, how did the original Mula Murti in Ayodhya, Rama Janmabhoomi look? That only Babar, who demolished the temple, can answer. We don't have an answer as to how he exactly looked. Today, this is the Mula Murti which is made. When a Mula Murti is made, alongside there will be powers given even to the Utsava Murti. And this Utsava Murti, which is the little Ram Lalla that we have been seeing, has been on Nitya Aradhana, daily worship every day. You don't have to do a Prana Pratishtha for a deity which is already in worship. And of course, powers will be given. So that is a part of the Agama. I'm sure the Pandits will do a very good job of it. The Prana Pratishtha is done for the Mula Vigraham, and more powers are added through Nitya Aradhana to the Utsava Murti. So there's nothing wrong about it.
Also, can you explain to us the significance? We're just showing our viewers all the different carvings which have been done. Matsya, Kurm, Yaraha, Narsing, Gada, Chakra, Om. What is the significance of all of these symbols around the idol of Lord Ram?
Okay. So there are two sounds which are believed in Sanatana Dharma, which is Hinduism, that must have come from the Kantham, the middle part of the neck of Paramatma. One is Atha Shabdam, from which Brahma Sutra begins, and second is Pranava. Pranava has 3 sounds: A, U, Ma, Akara, Ukara, Makaram. Three together become Om, which is Pranavam. Not to be told like this openly in the public, but it is called Pranavam. So Pranava is the basic sound, the fulcrum of the Vedic sound. So that is found in the arch, the Prabha. And then we see the Dashavataram. See, Shastram says Nana Vidha Avataram. The avatars are not restricted only to 10 in number. They are plenty, they happened, they are still happening. But we don't have rishis to tell which are the avatars. But many acharyas have shortlisted, like how we have top 10 songs of the week, we have top 10 avatars, which is called Dashavataram. So Matsya-avataram restored the Vedas. Kurma-avataram brought back the lost wealth. Varaha-avataram restored Mother Earth. Nisimha-avataram brought in it exemplified the words of a humble devotee called Prahlada. Vamana-avataram brought down the arrogance of a tyrant king called Bali. Parashurama-avataram brought justice through the process of his wrath, where previously injustice was meted to many of the innocent people. Of course, there is Rama Avataram, whom we are seeing in the Murti form. There is a Balarama and Krishna Avataram, which happened at the same time. Balarama is called as Amsha Avataram. He was the elder brother to Krishna. And Krishna Avataram, of course, he gave us the quintessence of all the Upanishads called Bhagavad Gita, Sarvopanishado Gavaha. And Kalki Avataram is awaited. Some acharyas even consider Buddha as an avatara of Narayana. So this is the Dashavataram. Pranava has explained. Garuda is the celestial vehicle to Narayana, and he's called Vedatma Vihageshwaraha Yavanika. Vedatma Vihageshwaraha. He is the very essence of the Vedic sound. And that is why in many temples of the Pancharatana and the Vaikhanasa Agama, opposite the Sanctum Sanctorum of Narayana, you will have Garuda. It's like the eternal fervent servant saying that I'm ready always, boss. Call me anytime, we can fly. So that's about Garuda. I've not seen the image in proximity, so I wouldn't know much more about the image. If you have questions, please feel free to ask.
We will have a much more detailed conversation on the 22nd. Dushyant Sridhar will help us navigate all the processes, all the rituals that take place. Like you mentioned, it's a countdown which every practicing Hindu in the world is doing. Dushyant Sridhar, for joining us with your wisdom. Thanks as always.